Video games have many ways to test the mind, whether it be through different enemy types, level layouts, or even through a second player or emotionally traumatizing you just because. But puzzle games test the mind directly. Pure test of human problem solving, if you will. I feel like you could classify a lot of Flash games under the beach umbrella term of puzzle game, especially when puzzle games get fused with so many other genres so often. Which brings us to our first game, Fireboy and Watergirl. This is one of those games where you're sitting at the computer lab in elementary school and you look around and you go, hey, teacher's not looking, wanna grab some chalky milk and play some Shark Boy and Lava Girl? It's also the kind of game that you play the first 2 levels and then never touch again until you want to show people that you can control both of the characters by yourself, as if that was the thing that was holding you back from making friends this whole time. Seriously, I have never played this game with another person. I just don't think people like rubbing their elbows together for the minute and a half they play this. Anyhow, this game is a puzzle platformer where you play a Shark Girl and Lava Boy. Fireman controls with the arrow keys and Waterman uses WASD. Never mix fire and water. Wait, how does liquid fire exist? That's like lava, right? So it's like fire, water? What is this? I have trouble calling this game a puzzle game. It feels more like jump over this pit, move this block, now speedrun this level, except it's extremely difficult to do by yourself and with others. Now look, I have 100%ed 0 of these levels. Not a single one, despite doing half of these in like under a minute and collecting all of the diamonds. Oh yeah, this game has diamonds. Throughout each level, there are different diamonds and they're kind of just there. Nothing happens if you get them all, and that's just a rule for like everything in this game. Like, you beat the game and nothing happens. There isn't really much more to talk about with this game besides the fact that there are 4 other ones that I have only played 1 of. Yeah, guess you can call me a true Fireboy and Watergirl fan, you know? Oh no, it seems that I have fallen off of this cliff. There goes all of the customers. Speaking of games that have a questionable amount of titles and merch that may or may not have been made by the creators of said titles. You know, I thought that joke would be too specific, but there are too many series that fall under that category. Monkey Go Happy, or as I like to call it, why does it look like that, is a point-and-click puzzle game that people actually played more than the first 2 levels in. This kind of puzzle game seems to be the most popular, seeing as Pencil Kids made 64 of them. Pencil Kids is/are the developer. I don't know, I just feel like I had to clarify that. Hey, Chris! Yeah? Okay, so we just did Monkey Go Happy Army Base, but I feel like we have to go a bit more ambitious. Yeah. Monkey Go Happy Ninjas 3. We have a wide enough audience to warrant us making that game, so let's do it. So this game is a point-and-click puzzler where you have to do everything in your power to make the monkey go happy. This general concept of making someone happy makes room for tons of puzzle opportunities, or even just fun little segments. Like making an arcade game for the monkeys in the second game, or collecting marbles. Even the shooting range segments can be pretty fun. There are chunks that are a bit confusing though. I stopped at the 4th game because I felt like I had everything to know about the series. Or maybe I can't recognize simple patterns, but I make videos about video games on the internet, so that can't be possible. Speaking of games that have a questionable amount of titles and merch that may or may not have been made by the creators of said titles, I've seen Angry Birds come under fire for a lot of things actually, but most importantly how it's a perfect example of when companies get comfortable and try to appeal to a casual gaming audience as much as possible, going so far as to make 2 movies, multiple Disney partner games, and now a new Simon Says Tetris Attack game? I mean, it's your lawsuit, not mine. Again, I'm not saying that this is necessarily a bad thing, as long as you keep coming up with ideas and actually enjoy what you're making. It seems like they do keep innovating with the new birds, which have actually different abilities that open up for practically endless possibilities, but I've never played them, so... Speaking of innovative series of games, GrowCube. GrowCube is one of those games that you just have to play to get. I feel like explaining it doesn't do it justice. Kinda like the Geneva Conventions. The Grow games developed by Honor are these games where you're given these resources that add different industries to your cube island or valley. The catch is that depending on the order, different resources level up at a different rate. Your goal is to get to the perfect order of resources and max them all out in one go. Well, this is the closest I've come to having a crippling addiction. If I didn't have a video to make, I would still be playing it, probably. And that scares me more than death itself. There's just something about watching the little guys move and seeing everything grow in different ways. It's so addicting. Speaking of video game, this game is meant to test the mind in more ways than one. It is meant not just to test your problem-solving skills, but your mental fortitude. It is one of, if not the first, rage game. Yeah, this is what I thought the 20th Circle of Hell would look like. Whose idea? Why is this game? What kind of person makes something so painful? Why did I beat it? Except I didn't beat it. I tricked you. This game broke me. The impossible game isn't actually impossible, but it makes you wish it was so you could do literally anything else. It's just a game where you answer questions and do random tasks. It barely even qualifies as a quiz, which is a wrong answer that appears in a question that asks you how you think it's going. This game pulls out so much bullshit and causes so many you moments that it sounds like grandma's new brothel that she invited you to check out and support, but you're like, no grandma, I'm fine. I think I'm gonna go play Fireboy and Watergirl at Destiny's house. It took my friend and I like 30 minutes to try and figure out question 66 until I got fed up and just looked up the answer, and it was the exclamation point at the end of the goddamn sentence because it's the end of the world. We're like the end of my life. Okay, Mark, you ready for this?
Yep. What?
There's a section after the first 100 questions, yes, 100, I did not stutter, called the final 10, in which one of the questions requires you to type in the code from Lost, which I have memorized, by the way, in 10 seconds. Or how these skips, which were probably your saving grace throughout the entire game, have to be saved until the very last screen in order to actually beat it. The pain of this game is only accentuated through how clever it can be. Some of these questions I didn't even get until now, like choose food. Dentures are used to chew food. That's stupid, but it got a chuckle out of me. Or how this game knows how much you'll fail, so then the song choice of Gonna Fly Now feels like an encouraging tune that'll actually get you through the game. It at least works like that for me. Remember that lost code from earlier? The only reason why it works is because you lose so many times it would be hard not to recognize 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 40 you when the time comes. This Flash game is incredibly made in my opinion. It's so sneaky, so infuriating. It's so simple. All uses a mouse and answers some questions, making it so that anybody can get their soul sucked out of their bodies with the click of a button. You know, I feel like Flash puzzle games are the grandfather of puzzlers being able to morph into so many different genres that these games are difficult not to appreciate. Looking back on these made me realize how much games today relate to the games of the past, like the Impossible Quiz especially. I can talk about how cool these games are all day, but at the time of this recording, you can still play them. Explaining it doesn't do it justice. It probably wasn't the best way of explaining why I did several war crimes, but it was worth a shot to talk about, right?